The screen door hums a rusty key, a melody between the free and the fastened, the in and out, the boundary nobody talks about. It lets the summer in at night, the moths that chase the porch's light, the smell of cut grass and the creek, the kind of air that makes you weak. It slams behind the ones who leave and catches those who still believe that coming home is not defeat. It's just the sound of tired feet finding their familiar floor through the same old rusty door. Screen door serenade, song of everyone who stayed through the heat and through the flies, through the truth and through the lies. Screen door serenade, a love that never makes the grade of Hollywood or wedding rings, but outlasts all the bigger things. Father stood behind that screen the night I left at just 18. He didn't say a single word, just held the handle like a bird that couldn't fly but wouldn't fall. A man reduced to standing tall. I saw his shadow through the mesh, a silhouette of love and flesh. The cab pulled off, gravel cried, the screen door swung and stayed open wide, as if the house itself had gasped and held its breath until I'd passed. Screen door serenade, the song of everyone who stayed through the heat and through the flies, through the truth and through the lies. Screen door serenade, a love that Hollywood or wedding rings, but outlasts all the bigger things. I came back 12 Decembers on. The screen was torn, the hinge was gone, but Daddy fixed it Christmas Eve. Said a door ain't a door if it doesn't breathe. He oiled the spring and let it slam, and smiled at me and said, I am so glad this door still knows your sound. The house ain't right when you're not around. Screen door serenade, the song of everyone who stayed through the heat and through the flies, through the truth and through the lies. Screen door serenade, a love that never makes the grade of Hollywood or wedding rings, but outlasts all the bigger things, but outlasts all the bigger things. Screen door serenade, still slamming, still singing. kettle's turning green, the oldest thing this house has seen, older than the children's teeth, older than the Christmas wreath. It whistles in a minor key, a sound that only talks to me at 5 a.m. when no one's up and the world is just a single cup. I bought it at a roadside stand from a woman with a weathered hand. She said, this kettle's got a voice, it'll sing for you, you've got no choice but to listen when it calls your name. Every morning always the same. Copper kettle morning, the day before the day starts forming, when the sky is still deciding what it wants to be, still hiding. Copper kettle morning, no alarm, no clock, no warning, just a woman and her steam, somewhere between awake and dream. The children used to hate the sound, said, Mama, keep the whistle down. But now they're gone to other towns with electric kettles, modern grounds. And sometimes Sarah calls at 6, says, I can't sleep, my coffee's a fix. But nothing works like your old pot, that scream that said the water's hot. I hold the phone against my ear and let the kettle's voice come near. She goes quiet on the other side, as if the whistle found the tide that carries every child back home through the frequency of copper's tone. Copper kettle morning, the day before the day starts forming, when the sky is still deciding what it wants to be, still hiding. Copper kettle morning, no alarm, no clock, no warning, just a woman and her steam, somewhere between awake and dream. The green has spread across the spout, like age has kissed it inside out. But the whistle hasn't lost a note, still hits the same persistent throat of morning air and kitchen wall, the smallest voice that fills the hall and tells this house it's time to wake. Another day is mine to make. Copper kettle morning, the day before the day starts forming, when the sky is still deciding what it wants to be, still hiding. Copper kettle morning, no alarm, no clock, no warning, just a woman and her steam, somewhere between awake and dream, somewhere between awake and dream. Copper kettle morning, still Celine. She wrote him letters every week, clipped them to the clothesline's cheek, between the bed sheets and the socks, a post office without the clocks. He'd come home dusty from the field and check the line before the meal, unpin the paper, read it slow, standing in the afterglow. could have handed them inside, across the table side by side. But something about the wind and wire made every word a little higher than spoken things could ever reach. The clothesline was their private speech. Clothespin letters in the breeze, saying all the things that please. The part of us too shy to talk, the love that lives beyond the walk. Clothespin letters, sun-dried words, fluttering like little birds between the cotton and the sky. A woman's way of asking why, and saying stay and meaning try. Some were funny, some were not. The tractor broke, the milk went hot. The dog ate something from the bin, and your mother's coming, Lord help him. But some were just a single line. I'm glad the morning made you mine. Pinned beside his flannel shirt, a love note hiding in the dirt. He never wrote her back in ink. He'd leave a wildflower on the sink, or fix the hinge she'd mentioned twice. His language was a different price, but she understood the silent trade. A door that swings is a letter made. Clothespin letters in the breeze, saying all the things that please. The part of us too shy to talk, the love that lives beyond the wall. Clothespin letters, sun-dried words, fluttering like little birds between the cotton and the sky. A woman's way of asking why, and saying stay and meaning try. The clothesline broke last winter's storm. She found the letters cold but warm inside a coffee tin he'd kept beneath his workbench while she slept. Every single one unfolded flat beside his hammer and his hat. A man who couldn't say the words had saved them all, like caged up birds. Clothespin letters in the breeze, saying all the things that please. The part of us too shy to talk, the love that lives beyond the walk. Clothespin letters, sun-dried words, fluttering like little birds between the cotton and the sky. Way of asking why, and saying stay and meaning try, and meaning try. Clothespin letters still pinned to the sky. She pulls the laundry from the drum and holds it like a kingdom come. The towels bundled to her chest, 100 heartbeats come to rest against the cotton warm and full. the softest kind of beautiful. She stands there longer than she should, because the warmth is understood. It's not about the fold or crease, it's not about the fabric's piece. It's about the 3-minute window where the world stops spinning in the air, and everything is safe and held inside a warmth that can't be spelled. Still warm from the dryer, the closest thing to a choir of angels singing you're enough when every day has been too rough. Still warm from the dryer, the arms of an invisible supplier of comfort no one thinks to name, but a woman knows it just the same. Her daughter's blanket threadbare thin, the one with the elephant's grin, still tumbles every other week, though no one sleeps beneath its cheek. It's ritual now, it's medicine, no way to let the child back in the room, the crib, the 2 a.m. when mama was the world to them. She folds it slow, she folds it right, the way she did on every night when little arms would reach and pull and everything was warm and full. And motherhood was just this one small act repeated till it's done. Still warm from the dryer, the closest thing to a choir of angels singing you're enough when every day has been too rough. Still warm from the dryer, the arms of an invisible supplier of comfort no one thinks to name, but a woman knows it just the same. They make machines that do it all, the wash, the dry, the fold, the haul, but no machine has ever known the way a woman stands alone inside the humming of the drum and becomes undone, and then becomes the version of herself that's true, the one who whispers, I got through. Still warm from the dryer, the closest thing to a choir of angels singing you're enough when every day has been too rough. Still warm from the dryer, the arms of an invisible supplier of comfort no one thinks to name, but a woman knows it just the same. But a woman knows. Still warm from the dryer, hold it close just a little longer. She ties her apron twice a day, once for morning, once for prayer. The kitchen knows her by her step, a shuffle slide she's always kept. The sink is full of yesterday, the garden's asking her to stay, but the bread won't knead itself, she says, and pulls the afternoon haze. The apron's faded soft as cheek, embroidered roses, French antique. Her mother wore it and hers before. A cotton passport through the door. Apron strings and afternoon, sunlight dancing with a spoon. Butter melting, radio low, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. Apron strings and afternoon, humming someone else's tune. The simplest hours hold the most. A woman and her kitchen post. The tomatoes ripen on the ledge. The basil leans against the edge. She slices everything by hand, no recipe. She understands the way the oil should hit the pan, the way a meal becomes a plan for gathering the ones she loves, with nothing finer than the above. The strings hang loose against her hip, a pendulum on every trip, from stove to table, back again, a rhythm older than a man. Apron strings and afternoon, sunlight dancing with a spoon. Butter melting, radio low, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. Apron strings and afternoon, humming someone else's tune. The simplest hours hold the most. A woman and her kitchen post. They'll say she spent her whole life here, between the flower and the fear, that nothing she has done was grand. But they don't know the weight of hands that fed a family from the bone and turned a house into a home. Apron strings and afternoon, sunlight dancing with a spoon. Butter melting, radio low, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. Apron strings and afternoon, humming someone else's tune. The simplest hours hold the most. A woman and her kitchen post. A woman and her kitchen post. Apron strings still tied. The linen closet on the second floor holds more than towels behind the door. It holds the sheets that wrap the birth of every child who found this earth. Inside this house, inside this hall, the softest archive of them all, folded tight in lavender, a shelf of everything we were. If you press your face inside and close your eyes and let the tide of cedar, soap and cotton speak, you'll hear the voices thin and weak of everyone who slept beneath these these threads, these hems, this cotton wreath. Linen closet ghosts, the ones we miss the most, live between the fold and crease in the fabric of our piece. Linen closet ghosts, still warming all our posts. Every pillowcase a prayer, every blanket says they're there. This towel was the baby's first, the yellow one with the tiny burst of ducklings marching in a row. She's 37 now, you know. And this one's from the hospital, the last night that I held it all together in a single sheet, his breathing in my heartbeat. They told me I could take it home, the blanket that he'd always known. I washed it once and then I stopped, because the smell of him was all I'd got. So I folded it and placed it here between the years and disappeared. Linen closet ghosts, the ones we miss the most, live between the fold and crease in the fabric of our piece. Linen closet ghosts, still warming all our posts. Every pillowcase a prayer, every blanket says they're there. My daughter says just throw them out, they're old and thin, what's that about? I say, sit down and let me show the things that linen closets know. I hand her each one like a page, a story from a different age. She holds the yellow duckling tight and finally understands the night. Linen closet ghosts, the ones we miss the most, live between the fold and crease in the fabric of our piece. Linen closet ghosts, still warming all our posts. Every pillowcase a prayer, every blanket says they're there. Every blanket says they're there. Linen closet ghosts, still folded, still warm. She planted red when she was angry, roses sharp enough to bleed. She planted yellow when the baby finally learned to walk in red. The blue came after Daddy left, a corner full of quiet theft, where delphiniums stood like guards around the saddest part of the yard. Nobody knew her garden's code, the secret language that she sowed. They only saw the colors bloom, they never saw the woman's room of grief and joy beneath the soil, where every petal earned its toil. The color of her garden tells the story that she never lily row that wouldn't last, but came back every spring to say, I'm still here in a different way. She planted orange the year she danced at 62, a second chance with a man who brought her marigolds and didn't mind her hands of molds. He'd sit beside the garden wall and read the paper through the fall while she translated all her days into 1,000 colored maze. He never asked what each one meant, he just showed up with his own cement and built a path between the rows so she could walk in any clothes. The color of her garden tells the story that she never spells. In red the rage, in white the peace, in purple all the things that cease. The color of her garden grows, the chapters only dirt road knows. A woman writing with her knees, her memoir in the flowers and trees. Last spring she planted something new, a seed she'd never seen. She knew not what it was or what it'd be. She said, that's fine, it's just like me. I never knew what I would grow until the rain began to show that everything I put inside would bloom in its own time and The color of her garden tells the story that she never spells. In red the rage, in white the peace, in purple all the things that cease. The color of her garden grows, the chapters only dirt road knows. A woman writing with her knees, her memoir in the flowers and trees. Her memoir in the flowers, the color of her garden still growing. The rocking chair speaks in a tongue of creaking wood and battles won by sitting still and letting go of everything you thought you'd know. She rocks at dusk, she rocks at dawn, the same slow rhythm never gone, a pendulum of yes and no, a woman learning how to flow. No pulpit and no stained glass light, just a porch and a fading night. Her Bible open on her lap, but her sermon's in the handicap of living long and losing much, and still believing in the touch. Rocking chair theology, the gospel of the letting be, that some things break and some things mend, and love is not a means to end. Rocking chair theology, the quiet university, where a woman earns her peace. One creak, one breath, one slow release. her opinions once. Inside a marriage built on blunts, answers given, questions banned. A woman trained to understand her place was in the lower pew, but the rocking chair gave her the view of everything she couldn't say when someone else controlled the day. Now the chair is hers alone, the highest throne she's ever known. No one tells her what to read, no one edits what she needs. Rocking chair theology, the gospel of the letting be, that some things break and some things mend, and love is not a means to end. Rocking chair theology, the quiet university where a woman earns her peace. One creak, one breath, one slow release. Her granddaughter asked her yesterday, what do you believe when you pray? She rocked 3 times before she spoke and let the evening wear its cloak. I believe in kitchen light and hands that hold you through the night. I believe in bread that rises slow and the things you learn from letting go. Rocking chair theology, the gospel of the letting be, that some things break and some things mend, and love is not a means to end. Rocking chair theology, the quiet university where a woman earns her peace. One creak, one breath, one slow release. One creak, one breath, one slow release. Still rocking. The Bible sits beside the stove, a contradiction no one drove, but Mama put it there because the kitchen was her only cause. She'd read a verse between the stir, Ecclesiastes and ginger blur, a woman splitting time in half between the holy and the laugh. The pages smell like cinnamon and something close to abandon. The margin notes in blue ballpoint, a woman making every point she needed for the day ahead, between the scripture and the bread. Breadcrumbs on the Bible, the sacred and the survival, living on the same old shelf where a woman finds herself. Breadcrumbs on the Bible, no guilt and no revival, just the daily honest way a woman learns to kneel and stay. She underlined the parts that hurt, the ones about the salt and dirt, and being meek and being last. The verse is built for women's past, but next to them in her own hand, she wrote, I think God understands that meat don't mean you disappear. It means you're brave enough to steer. The pastor never saw these notes, her private hymns, her private boats that sailed between the printed lines and anchored at her own designs. Breadcrumbs on the Bible, the sacred and the survival, living on the same old shelf where a woman finds herself. Breadcrumbs on the Bible, no guilt and no revival, just the daily honest way a woman learns to kneel and stay. I found it after she was gone, the kitchen cold, the coffee on, still warm enough to know she'd been right here between the thick and thin. I opened up to Psalms and there, between the pages pressed with care, a grocery list, a child's first tooth, a woman's faith was in the proof. Breadcrumbs on the Bible, the sacred and the survival, living on the same old shelf where a woman finds herself. Breadcrumbs on the Bible, no guilt and no revival, just the daily honest way a woman learns to kneel and stay. A woman learns to kneel and stay. Breadcrumbs on the Bible, still open, still warm. My grandmother smelled like two things, vinegar from the pickled jars and violets from the garden rings she planted underneath the stars. Her hands were rough, her voice was not a velvet sound from a cast iron pot of wisdom, scripture and common sense delivered over the backyard fence. She'd say a woman needs two tools, a spine of steel and a book of rules that she writes herself and burns at will, because the only law is standing still. Vinegar and violets, the bitter and the delicate, that's what a woman's made to hold. The tender and the sharp and bold, vinegar and violets, no apology, no regrets, strong enough to clean the wound, soft enough to fill the room. She buried 2 husbands, raised 11, said grief is just the rent for heaven. You pay it monthly, sometimes twice, but the view is worth the price. She'd pickle everything in sight, the cucumbers, the beans, the fight between my uncle and his wife. She preserved it all, she preserved the life. She'd say a garden needs its weeds to teach the flowers about their needs, and a woman needs her bitter days to understand the sweeter ways. Vinegar and violets, bitter and the delicate. That's what a woman's made to hold. The tender and the sharp and bold. Vinegar and violets. No apology, no regrets. Strong enough to clean the wound. Soft enough to fill the room. Can't help myself from holding it against the light. The way she held her world so tight. Half sour, half sweet, completely hers. A woman bottled in a universe. Vinegar and violets. The bitter and the delicate. That's what a woman's made to hold. The tender and the sharp and bold. Vinegar and violets. No apology, no regrets. Strong enough to clean the wound. Soft enough to fill the room. Soft enough to fill the room. She was. The orchard after rain is church. The apples bow from every perch. The leaves are heavy, bright and clean. The holiest green I've ever seen. The mud is soft beneath my boots. I feel the pulling of the roots that go as deep as memory. 100 years inside a tree. My great-grandfather planted these on land he bought for 7 fees. A handshake and a borrowed mule. A dreamer with a farmer's tool. And every apple that has grown has carried something of his bone into the sweetness of the bite. A man still feeding us at night. The orchard after rain washes everything of stain. The guilt, the grief, the growing old. The stories nobody has told. The orchard after rain makes the ordinary plain. That everything we plant in dirt will outlive everything that hurt. My mother had her wedding here, beneath the oldest granny near. The trunk so wide it held the vow of a woman who still keeps it now. My father carved their date in bark, permanent and tender mark. The tree has grown around the scar like love absorbs the things that are. I come here when the world gets loud, when I need a ceiling, not a crowd. The branches make a kind of roof that's waterproof, but not the truth proof. The rain still gets inside my coat, but so does something else of note. A feeling that I'm not washes everything of stain. The guilt, the grief, the growing old, the stories nobody has told. The orchard after rain makes the ordinary plain. That everything we plant in dirt will outlive everything that hurt. Last April when the blossoms came, I brought my granddaughter to name her favorite tree. She chose the small, the crooked one against the wall. She said this one because it tried the hardest just to reach the light. I knelt beside her in the mud and felt the orchard in my blood. The orchard after rain washes everything stained. The guilt, the grief, the growing old, the stories nobody has told. The orchard after rain makes the ordinary plain. That everything we plant in dirt will outlive everything that hurt. After rain, still growing, still giving. She read the same book every year, a paperback she held so dear. The spine was cracked at chapter 9, where someone else had underlined a sentence about letting go. She didn't know who didn't know, but every year she'd find it there, a stranger's hand inside her prayer. She started writing back one spring, a tiny note, a tiny thing. I disagree, you hold on tight. Some things are worth the losing fight. And the book became a conversation between two lives, two generations. One who let go, one who stayed, a dialogue in pencil gently made. Handwritten in the margin, where the printed words stop guarding all the feelings left unsaid, the living notes beside the dead. Handwritten in the margin, a woman's quiet bargain with the page, the ink, the years, her footnotes made of joy and tears. Her daughter found it after June, the book beside the silver spoon. She opened it to chapter 9 and found her mother's underline. Below the stranger's just an inch, a different color, just a pinch of blue where the other wrote in gray, two women centuries away. The daughter added her own thought right next to what her mother taught. You're both right, hold and let go. It depends on what the winter sowed. Sometimes the grip is all you've got, sometimes the open hand's the plot. Handwritten in the margin, where the printed words stop guarding all the feelings left unsaid, the living notes beside the dead, handwritten in the margin, a woman's quiet bargain with the page, the ink, the years, her footnotes made of joy and tears. 3 women now inside one book, 3 different lives, one single look at the same old sentence. Chapter 9, about the art of the decline. And none of them will ever meet, but they're in pencil, blue and sheet. A faded gray, they hold a thread, a conversation never dead. Handwritten in the margin, where the printed words stop guarding all the feelings left unsaid, the living notes beside the dead. Handwritten in the margin, a woman's quiet bargain with the page, the ink, the years, her footnotes made of joy and tears. Her footnotes made of joy and tears. Handwritten in the margin, turn to chapter 9. The attic stairs are steep and thin, the light bulb swings like a violin. I pull the string and there it glows, a yellow sun on cardboard rows. The box is taped with masking brown, the year is written, faded down. 73 in Daddy's hand, before the ink could understand. I sit cross-legged on the floor, the way I haven't since before. My knees could crack and my back could ache, but some positions you don't forsake. Attic box of 73, show me who I used to be, before the decades filed me down into a reasonable, responsible town. Attic box of 73, open up and set me free, back to the girl who kept these things, ticket stubs and friendship rings. A report card with a teacher's note, she daydreams more than what she wrote. A ribbon from the county race, 3rd place but with a 1st place face. A letter from my best friend Claire, who moved to Maine and cut her hair. Said save me a seat at the lunchroom wall, I'll be back by the start of fall. She never came, her father's work took them somewhere past the murk of our small town, our smaller dreams. But the letter still holds all it seems. Attic box of 73, show me who I used to be, before the decades filed me down into a reasonable, responsible town. Attic box of 73, open up and set me free, back to the girl who kept these things, ticket stubs and friendship rings. At the bottom underneath the rest, a photograph I love the best. My mother young, my father lean, standing washing machine. She's laughing hard, he's holding on to something heavy, almost gone. The caption on the back just reads, Tuesday, nothing special, all we need. Attic box of 73, show me who I used to be before the decades filed me down into a reasonable, responsible town. Attic box of 73, open up and set me free. Back to the girl who kept these things, ticket stubs and friendship rings. Ticket stubs and friendship rings. 73, Tuesday, nothing special. The wallpaper remembers everything. The pencil marks from measuring how tall the children grew each spring. Behind the door where no one sees, a timeline written by the knees of toddlers reaching for the keys. 1962, 1965, the years are barely still alive. They painted over it last June. The new owners wanted something new, but underneath the modern gray, the measurements refused to fade away. The wallpaper remembers every July and every December, the handprints and the crayon lines, the watermarks of better times. The wallpaper remembers every spark and every ember of a family that lived inside these walls that hold what we can't hide. There was a stain by the second stair from the night my brother threw a pear at my sister's head but hit the wall. The funniest funeral of them all. We laughed until the house complained, and Mama said, you kids are stained into this house like that poor pair. You'll be here long after I'm not there. She was right, we sold the place, but left our fingerprints in space between the layers, coat by coat, a family written like a note. The wallpaper remembers every July and every December, the handprints and the crayon lines, the watermarks of better times. The wallpaper remembers every spark and every ember of a family that lived inside these walls that hold what we can't hide. I drove past the house last fall. The curtains different, the yard was small, or maybe I was just too tall for the world I knew behind that wall. But if you peel the layers back, past the gray and past the crack, you'd find us there, still laughing loud. A pear-stained, pencil-marked, beautiful crowd. The wall December, the handprints and the crayon lines, the watermarks of better times. The wallpaper remembers every spark and every ember of a family that lived inside these walls that hold what we can't hide. These walls that hold the wallpaper remembers. Peel it back and we're still there. We kept an almanac of us, a leather book of rain and trust. Each year a page, each page a line of what we planted and the vine that grew or didn't, bloomed or broke. The frost that came before we spoke about the things that needed sun, the conversations never done. January, you fixed the leak. February, we didn't speak. March, the tulips came too soon. April, you hummed a different tune, and I wrote it all in ink that bled between the living and the dead, of seasons turning without permission, a marriage logged in small admission. A catalog of love and rust, every harvest, every drought, every whisper, every shout. The almanac of us, no edits and no second cuts, just the raw and faithful log of two people in the fog. July, the peaches split their skin. August, your mother's moving in. September, the boy went off to school. October, I broke the golden rule of never gonna bed upset. I slept downstairs and you forget to mention it the morning after. We just resumed the daily chapter. November, the pipes froze in the wall. December, you caught me when I'd fall on the ice beside the mailbox post. You said, careful, you're the one I need the most. And I wrote that down in the margins edge. A man's love in a single place. The almanac of us, a catalog of love and rust, every harvest, every drought, every whisper, every shout. The almanac of us, no edits and no second cuts, just the raw and faithful log of two people in the fog. 40 years of almanac, I read them forward, read them back. Some pages stiff from tears that dried, some pages loose from being pried. Open late at night alone, when missing you becomes the tone of everything the house contains. The almanac of joys and pains. The almanac of us, a catalog of love and rust, every harvest, every drought, every whisper, every shout. The almanac of us, no edits to